Chardal says thoughts on the 49ers re-signing MMB, and that being Marcelino McCrary-Ball. And a lot of people asking about Marcelino McCrary-Ball in here.
So
MF
there's
MF
news
says
today.
thoughts on Marcelino.
There's news today. So about while we were live, Marcelino McCrary-Ball, they re-signed him to a 1-year deal. So to me, that tells me that's Aziz Al-Shahir's replacement there.
I love Marcelino McCrary-Ball. And
He's good.
if you follow my YouTube channel, go look for the interviews I did with him early in the year. I love this kid, man. I mean, this was, first of all, the 49ers got a real player in this kid. He wore 40 in the preseason. They gave him a standard 1-year contract, but he was undrafted out of Indiana. This guy played corner. This guy played corner at times for the Hoosiers, and he's 24. And the Niners love kind of the undersized linebacker who can run. He's about 214 pounds, 215 pounds. He's probably going to play at about 220. During his pro day, he ran 4.51. He had a 35-inch vertical, 121-inch broad jump. So he is an incredible athlete. And if you watched him in the preseason, he flew all over the place. The guy was amazing. And as Raj said, I mean, Aziz Al-Shahir, Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, those guys are both free agents. I think it's very likely that D'Amico tries to steal Aziz and take him to Houston with him. Flanagan-Fowles, I think the Niners could probably go cheaper with McCrary-Ball. But it's funny, I did an interview late in the year with Aziz, and I asked him about McCrary-Ball. And he's like, yeah, a year from now, watch out. He's going to be something, because he's got great speed, great instincts, great awareness. And, it's funny. I talked to Marcelino at the beginning of the year, and I said, why did you come here? I mean, the Niners have Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, Aziz, Flanagan-Fowles. They're stacked. They signed Oren Burks. You had all this information when you decided to come here. Why here? Why would you come to a team that's so loaded at linebacker? And he said, you know what? My agent gave me the list of teams that were interested in me. And as soon as I saw the 49ers were on that list, I said, I want to go there because he goes, all these guys are dogs and I'm one of them too. He goes, and I'm a dog and I want to show that I can run with these guys and I want to challenge myself. And I don't care if I got to sit out the whole year this year and never play where I could have played somewhere else. I want to be on a good defense, a good team with some great linebackers. I want to learn from the best and I want to be the best. I mean, he's telling me this at his locker and my eyes are like, huge. I'm like sitting there going, wow. I mean, this kid has got real confidence. I don't know if I would go to a radio station that had 20 other hosts that were all awesome. I might want to go where there was a opening or where there was a weakness. But this guy's got so much confidence in his ability to play linebacker in the NFL, Raj, that he's like, hey, I want to go to the Niners. And then when they announced 2 weeks ago, their list of guys that they were extending and he was not on the list.
Yeah.
I thought, maybe he's going with D'Amico to Houston. But then obviously they worked out a deal and he's probably getting a few more bucks than your standard contract. This is great news for the 49ers. It's great news for the Niners from the standpoint of Marcelino can flat out play. It's bad news for the 49ers if you're an Aziz fan, because I think it probably indicates that Aziz is going to go in free agency.
Yeah, 100%. I think the writing's on the wall, but I think he gets his opportunity. He's played well. He was undrafted as well, and he kind of moved his way up the rankings when Greenlaw was out. We saw what he can do with, a full time on there. And, I think D'Amico's going to pluck him, and he's going to make him his Fred Warner, and he obviously deserves that chance to shine. But Marcelino, flat out athlete. I said the same thing this preseason. I was like, man, this guy can play. This kid knows ball. And I remember sitting there thinking, this guy is going to be the replacement. For at the time, I was like, who are they going to keep, Greenlaw or Aziz? I said, whoever they get rid of, this is the guy. I remember sitting there saying that. I was like, God, this guy is fast. He's fast. And that's an incredible story, what you just said, that he was a guy that said, hey, look, I want to stay on this team because I'm the dog just like them. To be able to sit there and say, I got the mindset and I'm going to be on the same team with Fred Warner, Aziz, and Greenlaw, that's crazy. But that tells me that he knows that this is a linebacker factory. I think if you're a young linebacker and you want to go to a team that's going to develop you, it's the 49ers. Because not only do they develop all their positions, but they take them undrafted. They do a really good job of bringing them up that pipeline. Because look at the team, the Niners. they're built. They're not a bot team. They're a team that they get these young guys. They get them undrafted. They get these late round steals, and they keep them on like a farm system in baseball. They get these practice squad guys, and a lot of those guys end up becoming starters or key players on this team. So I think McCrary-Ball, it was great that they brought him back on this 1 year deal. And now if he wants to make more money, he's going to go out there and have to earn it again. I think that's good motivation for him. And, Aziz probably out the door. So now you're going to have Fred Warner, Greenlaw. This guy can step up, McCrary-Ball, and they can get rid of guys like, like you said, what's his name?
Aziz.
Aziz and save the money.
Demetrius Flanagan
and Demetrius
Fowles,
Flanagan,
yes.
that's the guy I was thinking of. Demetrius Flanagan Fowles. And they could save that money and go with these cheaper guys that want to prove themselves, that they're hungry. And then you may have some more dollars to go get some bigger guys, in the end, and give Bosa the money he deserves, So I think it's a good move for them. I'm glad he's back because I was worried too. When I saw that reserve list, I was like, McCrary-Ball's not on there. Uh-oh. I hope they don't poach him. I hope D'Amico doesn't take him. And luckily they got him. And here he is, back with the team. I think this is a guy that's going to work so hard. I think he might crack that roster, at least as a special teamer, but he'll definitely be a starter in due time. This kid was flat out flying. I think it was the Green Bay game. He had an interception, I believe. Man, that guy, I was at that game, and I was like, this is a undrafted guy. I know it was preseason, but I was like, this kid can ball, man. McCrary, keep an eye on him. I was talking to Rohan, I remember, during that time. We had a stream, and both of us, we were like, this McCrary-Ball, he's going to make that team. We're going to make that team. So I'm happy we brought him back today.
Hey, two last ones before we let you go, and we appreciate you spending time. 5th-year option on Javon Kinlaw. Niners have a deadline coming up to either exercise it or not. Sounds like it's for both Ayuk and for Kinlaw. Ayuk, I'm very confident they'll get a deal signed. I think Lynch kind of referenced it. I don't think they're going to pick up the 5th-year option. Do you? No.
On Kinlaw, I would be absolutely shocked if they picked up his 5th-year option. I don't. Ayuk, that's guaranteed in my eyes. I'd be absolutely shocked if they don't take up Brandon Ayuk. So I don't think they'll take Kinlaw's. Unfortunately, this is it. They're going to say, hey, look, this is your contract. Play it out. Give us something. If you can come out and really have a good year and stay healthy, maybe you can stick around. But this is it for Kinlaw with the Niners, most likely.
Last one. Give me one name of just any player, whether it be a draft choice or a free agent or even a trade, that you would love. Give me if John Lynch came to you, because he follows you, by the way. John Lynch follows Raj. If doesn't follow Krug, but he follows Raj.
I'll put in a good word.
Put in a good word. Hey, JL, I'm gonna throw my man Krueger follow. No, but John Lynch follows you. Let's just say he picked up the phone, said, Raj, you're very vital to the Niner Nation. Give me one person, one player that you, whether you want the Niners to want me to trade for that guy, you want me to draft that guy, you want me to sign that guy. Give me one non-49er that you think, man, you put this guy on the Niners next year and watch the fuck out. Who is it?
I mean, is it a realistic situation?
It can be a realistic. I'll say this though, think about it last year. The Niners signed Charvarius Ward. You could have argued like at the beginning of free agency that was not very realistic either, right?
Yeah,
because he was a big time corner, but they didn't go sign a bunch of guys. He was kind of the primary guy. And then they signed some, guys for lesser money. So they could go the same route. And, you mentioned Deron Payne before. Hasselhoff here in the thing says, I would sign Hargrave from the Eagles. Chardal says Jason Kelsey. Now he's taking the Eagles center. We got Orlando Brown. One guy that you would say, you know what? You get that guy and the Niners are in business. Who do you want?
I got my answer. Orlando Brown is a very close second because I would like him, and we got to get that right tackle spot. But I'm going with my boy Spencer Burford. I'm calling up John and say, hey, go get Steve Wilkes, your new defensive coordinator, on the phone, and somehow get him to get Brian Burns on this team so you can have Nick Bosa and Brian Burns and have that beautiful pass rush duo because no team will beat this 49ers defense. If you got Brian Burns screaming down one end and Nick Bosa screaming down the other. John Lynch, go get me Brian Burns this offseason and call it a wrap.